Good morning, welcome back to another episode here. Got a little bit done this morning on the loft. Let's go check it out. See, all my tools are still laying on the ground. I'm going to try and do a little bit more this afternoon, but for now I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to show you guys through this and see how we go, because I really want these birds flying this weekend. It's Friday today. I'm hoping we can do a bit more work here today. Close this front off, or at least get a landing board or something here for the birds to get in. But yeah, I'll make a video separate of that later on when I get a chance, but we need to go through what I've done today because there's a fair bit which we've been waiting for. So I'll show you this because I'm actually pretty happy how it turned out. So like I've just talked about before, this is going to be the entry section. I'm still debating whether we have them come out that way as well or we bring them out through these doors. We'll figure that out in the next few hours anyway. I have totally closed in both sections now. I've got the door on here and I've put in the wire across the top just to fill those gaps. So both these sides now are fully locked in and we can actually let these birds out into these sections, which I'll be doing this afternoon, I think. I've put the wire on here. I don't really like this wire too much, but I've got a lot of it, so I'm just using it for the time being. We may look at completely closing up these sides at the moment. I don't know what these cockbirds are doing. But all of a sudden just all going crazy. Unless a hen might have snuck in there. Something's going on. Got the sliding doors on. These are the little cheap, I think they're about $25, around about that for this kit, which is just like a real basic, I think it's like a 25 kilo sliding door kit, which basically just comes with this rail. It's much longer, but I just cut it down so it fits in here nice and snug, and then I just put the screws in there. So I've done this on both sides. I've made the sliding doors as well. You'll see most of the time these things are going to be shut. I may just need to put in another screw here because that little end bit's a little bit loose, but we've got plenty more screws put in there. I think it's just got a little bit tighter. I might just need to adjust my brackets that I put in here. I actually use these little brackets that I've got. We've used them before. I've had these brackets for such a long time and they work well actually for what we're doing here. And you can see I've just got one here and I've got one here, and that just stops the door pushing back out so the pigeons can't get out of those sections. And I think that's just putting a little bit of pressure on there because this door slides pretty freely, which is really good. So we've got one section done on this side, and then this other one is done as well. Same thing, just the cheap little Bunnings kits, which work fantastic because I've got so many sliding doors in here. And this one as well, same thing. That one actually slides really well. And I've put the little brackets down here. You can probably see them a bit better. That's just to keep the door in position. And I've got another one over here but flipped around the other way. And I've just put a couple little screws in there into the bottom there, and it locks really well up against this hard FRP grating, the floor. And that just sits in there really well. Same thing, I may look at changing this. I've got more of this black mesh here. It is a fair bit more expensive than the other options. I'm going to use this maybe to build a trapping box, like a training box for them. There's 4 sheets there, so I've got a fair bit. Because what I'm going to work on next is getting the landing board. I want the landing board about this height. I don't want it all the way up here because it's just too hard. I want it like, you know, nice and easy. We can see the birds come in, we can call them in. So I'm going to put probably a 600 landing board out here, and then maybe a bob trap entry for now. I think, and that's going to be the easiest option to get these birds dialed in. We need them flying. So this is the next section, is just closing this off. We probably still can let some of them out actually. That's why we've got, I brought some extra sheets there because I'll build a trapping box that'll go over the whole entire landing board so we can start training them all, especially the young birds, because we need to get them out. That is just so smooth. Happy how that turned out. Really nice. Depends how long that's going to stay nice. What I've also brought is some little pieces of pine, and I'll show you where they're going to go. We'll install them sometime this weekend actually. And these little pieces of pine, I'm going to cut them So they go fit up in there, and that's going to stop the birds actually sitting up in here and making this runner really dirty, because you see the young birds are doing it. You can just see how sticky it gets with the droppings and all that when it gets hard up there. So that is a job that I'm going to do this weekend as well, and I'll go through maybe with a wet sponge and just really scrub that out so that it doesn't get dirty again. Let's look at the difference between ones that have been put in at the same time that don't have any birds, because they can't get up here, but there's none in this section anyway. So that will be very good. I made sure that I got those pieces because the that's a real pain, getting that real sticky door. And we'll be able to let the young birds out here maybe today or tomorrow as well. I really want to get them out so they can look around at things. And I might put the bathtubs out here as well for them. We might actually, oh, you can see, this is what I mean. I like sitting up here. I can see you. So yeah, we'll probably get them out in the baths today as well. It's a beautiful day. And I find bringing them out, putting the bathtub there for them and having a little bath, it'll be their first bath too, will help them settle really quickly. I find because pigeons are very smart, they're very social, and they enjoy those baths and all that kind of stuff with all their buddies. And something else I'll do probably later today is I'm going to give this a nice little clean. I've also earlier today, I had Beefcake, this big fella up here. I had him in this section here, and what I was doing was all the hens that I thought were hens or I wasn't 100% sure with, I actually put them in there with him alone and left them in there for a bit while I was doing the work. And it's a pretty easy way to tell. You get a really, well, a cockbird like him that just really likes hens. He loves the girls. So put him in there and just rotate those hens through, and you'll soon find out which ones are hens, because he'll just start chasing them. So that was very handy today, because we actually figured out which of the red checkers are hens, which ones are cocks, because it's hard to tell with some of them now. So we'll split them up. All these ones on this side are definitely cockbirds. It's only one of these two here that maybe one of those are hen, but I just don't know yet. What have we got in here? And this is the hen that we've got here, which is half Vanderbalk and half Leo Hermans. And I do really want to breed with her, so I'm interested in actually putting her across with one of my checkered cocks in here. It'll just be a fantastic mix. And we'll probably give Little Shock a chance too. She's down the bottom. This section I might even put a couple of shells in here, and we may put 4 or 5 pairs in here breeding, which I think we might need to, because I've been doing a few sums and things like that, and I'm pretty confident that we can fit 20 birds per section, which will give us 80 birds, so a race team of 80. That's all I'm thinking is we need to ramp up the breeding a bit. I'd love to be done in 2 to 3 months before Christmas. That would be fantastic, because it's too hot and breeding is a lot of work. So if I can get it all done, then we can just concentrate on training all the birds and just getting them all sorted and ready for the season ahead. And then if we do lose any around the loft, we can probably just breed a few more and top up those numbers. And what I want to do as well is, because I've brought in a lot of really good birds recently, I want to change a few of the pairs around as well. We may breed a few rounds for stock. We might just put a different colour ring on them so we know. I've got 2 Federation rings. I've got the blue one, which will be on all of these ones, the tealy colour, and we've got the bright pink one, so we may put that onto the stock birds. And also I'm really interested in a one loft race. I've been talking about it. The last 2 years I've been thinking about doing it, and I don't want to miss out this season. So that's one of the reasons in breeding as many birds as I can. So I've got enough birds here, and I can kind of throw a few over into one of the one loft races. There is a few. There's one in Melbourne that I'm thinking about doing, which would be pretty good for my storm birds. There's one in Sydney, a new one that's just starting up, and then there's one which is probably the more popular one, which is the Gold Coast 50,000. So that'll be pretty interesting, because all those one loft races, they all use Benzing Live, so we can actually enter birds, give them some pretty cool names, and you guys can watch along as well, because you can jump onto the website, because I'll put all the links in there. and you can follow along with all the racing and stuff. So it will be pretty good. I think that's what we need to do. And I left that door open a bit. Lucky we didn't lose any. This door's got a little bit sticky. I have to do some modifications on that one. Still pretty good. It's just got a sticky point near the end here. I think the whole loft might have settled a little bit. And I sneak through that little hole, the cheeky. These are the two cockbirds that I want to breed from. We've actually bred from... Which one have we bred from? That one, I think. We bred the split barless babies from that one, but they didn't make it, unfortunately. We haven't done this one, and we've also got 83. So we've got 2 from Leon Storm, and we've got 1 from Titan, which is that one that just went through last. They are really nice cockbirds. Like I did mention in the last video, one of Leon Storm's babies has been doing really well. Got 3rd last week in the Federation. So I'm definitely keen to keep pushing my Leon Storm babies. And this one's nice. This one's a Vanderbluff. This one, I think, is brother, nestmate to that red checker hen down here we're just talking about. So he's half Vanderbilt, and he's also half Leo Herman's. But I just need to find out a little bit more what Leo Herman's side it is. I would assume that he's related to Leo. Well, he definitely would be, but I don't know if he's off Syndicate Cock or son of Leo, one of the, like that kind of thing. So I'm going to chase that down a bit, because I really like to keep track of my breeding and how closely related and whatnot they are. So I'll keep this track on that one, because I'm really keen to breed from this one as well. It's actually quite a nice bird. So that is the update. Sections are closed off. We can start getting the birds out, and then hopefully maybe tomorrow, either Saturday or Sunday, we can actually let some of these birds out, the ones that have been out before. What I might do is just bring all the barless splits that we've still got like 5 in here. So what we might do, yeah, there's 5 in here. So what we might do is bring them into a section by themselves, and we might get them out first and get them fluent, and then we'll start bringing the other ones out, and we can look at start breaking in some of our Vanderbilt crosses we've got in here, which are most of the red checkers and all that. Pretty much all of them are red checkers or mealies. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to catch us all in the next video. Stay tuned, because we're getting some stuff done, which is really good.